In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I make millions of dollars from my Instagram without going viral. And for context, last month alone, 1 out of every 5 deals that we closed originated from my Instagram page. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ravi Abuvala. I'm the founder of Scaling with Systems. I've worked with over 2,000 businesses, helping them scale. And one of the ways that we do that is installing marketing and sales systems. So I'm constantly trying to test and figure out what are some of the best ways to acquire high-ticket clients today. I use myself and my company as a guinea pig, and then we work with our clients to install the finished results. And so I've been playing around with Instagram for the past few months, trying to figure out how do I nail that down as a really solid acquisition source as we scale. And I think that I figured it out, and I'm just gonna kind of prove that to you in this video here. So I took this screenshot. This is from our tracking software. And just in the last few hours, you can see that we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 7 calls booked in the last few hours have come from Instagram or have involved my Instagram one way or the other. And this is organic. This is free organic content. This is not paid. In addition to that, these aren't just like, people with no money, people that are just freebies or funnel hackers. These are really quality people. I just took a screenshot of one of these people that I talked about right here, and they're doing anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 a month. I think they said they're doing about $250,000 a month, but they want to scale to $400,000 a month, and they want our help doing that. And so this is rated a 3 out of 4 on our scale of clients that we love to work with. And so that's kind of a scoring system that we have here. But I'm showing you that this is a dream client. This is somebody we can definitely help and scale, and they came from my Instagram page. So I just want to prove to you that I'm also not like this huge viral sensation on Instagram. So in the last 30 days, we've reached 90,000 people on Instagram. Only 8.3 thousand people have engaged with me, and we only got about 0.5% of followers. And it's interesting because if anybody's watching this and they are like a content creator or they're really great on Instagram, you will see that these stats are pretty terrible. They're not like, I'm not a famous person on Instagram or anything by those means. And I don't really care, because what most people are trying to do is they're mostly content creators that are trying to make money. And I'm a business owner that's trying to use content to grow my business. And so it's a big difference inside of here. And most people are embarrassed or don't want to show you their dashboard. I'm just kind of lifting up the skirt and showing you everything here. So these numbers are not anything incredible, right? And this is not including anything paid that we're doing. This is just organic, yet we're still getting all these qualified book calls. So before I walk through what I'm doing exactly, let me walk through why, as a business owner, you should be focused on having something like content or YouTube or Instagram. And it's because the digital landscape is changing. So for the longest time, it was believed that the buyer's journey was just broken down into 3 simple processes. So the first was what's known as the stimulus, and that is essentially when someone would see your ad or hear of your company for the first time. Then it was what was known as the first moment of truth, and this is when they maybe went to your sales page, they spoke with your sales team, they even maybe bought your product or service, and then it ended with the second moment of truth. And this is when they actually experience your product or service. And this is really what kind of drives the future of your business, because obviously if you're doing a great job running ads and getting people into your company, but you're not delivering, then your business is going to shut down pretty quickly. So that was what everyone believed. Okay, as long as I just run ads and I have a video sales letter, I'll just close deals and I'll make money. And that worked for a really long time. But most people I know, including myself, are noticing that that's no longer exactly the case. And when I did a little bit of deeper dive into this, I found a study done by Google where they analyzed billions of buyer data points, and they figured out that there's actually a new stage, right? So there is a 4th stage inside of the buyer's journey today, and it's what they call the ZMOT, or the zero moment of truth, okay? And this is actually before the prospect goes to your sales page, before they book a call to speak with you, before they buy your stuff. They're doing their research online. They're looking you up online. They're looking at your competitors. They're looking at what else is out there. They want to build trust in order to better trust you that you're going to help them grow or whatever else you're going to help them do inside their business. And they really broke it down into 7 hours of content across 11 touch points in 4 different locations is what they said was required to turn a stranger into a buyer. So if you're watching this right now and you're just running ads or whatever else it is, you're getting people to know you on this one channel, and you're just saying, okay, book a call, book a call, book a call. The problem with that is that that's not how people buy anymore. And so you could just say, oh, I'm not going to do this other stuff. I just want to spend more money on ads. But the problem with that is that you're going to see your return on ad spend just continuously lower, lower, lower as that gets more and more expensive. And all you have to do is just a small amount of the 7-11-4 rule, and you can really nudge along the process here. So while I'm going through this, you'll see that if you've been following me for the past few years, most of the time when I'm talking about the 7-11-4 rule, people are getting to know you better, I'm talking about YouTube, right? I'm saying that, hey, YouTube's a great place to go because it's long form video. I've done plenty of videos. Actually, one of my most recent videos is kind of a similar video like this, but how I did this on YouTube, where I broke down the last 48 videos that I did on YouTube. I broke down what generated us the most subscribers, the most likes, the most et cetera, et cetera. And I think that YouTube is still an incredible platform, but I would say that you would really be doing yourself a disservice if, you nail down one platform and you're not kind of trying to start to grow and go to other ones. So we have ads down really, really well. We spend a lot of money every month on ads. I'd say we have YouTube down really, really well. And so what I wanted to move to next was, how do we really start to nail down Instagram? Because, me being in the position I'm in, I know Instagram works for a lot of people because I've helped scale a lot of businesses that rely on Instagram. So it's like, how do I nail this down for myself? But, I'm kind of a data guy, so I kind of needed to look at the data and figure out what that actually looked like. How do we start booking calls every single day through Instagram? So we have ads, calls coming through ads, calls coming through YouTube, and calls coming through Instagram organic. And so I broke down the last 68, I think, videos that I did on my Instagram, and I was looking at what are the metrics I can optimize for, right? What are the things I can pay attention to? What's the one thing that if I get that right makes everything else better? And when I analyzed it, I realized it wasn't really views, because views didn't necessarily mean that I was getting quality people. For example, if I made a video on, the bathrooms in my airplane, that would always get more views than if I made one on how you should hire employees, because there's more people curious about bathrooms on airplanes, on private planes, than there are about people who care about payroll and employees. So I didn't really like the idea of views. And then followers also I didn't really love, because if you go to my Instagram, I follow 13 people right now. So I didn't really think that was indicative of somebody being like, oh, this is really good content, I want to learn from this person more. And so I was like, okay, if I keep on analyzing more, what was one thing that if I got that thing right, worked everywhere else? And what I realized was shares was really indicative of a video that would perform really well. So if a video had high shares, then it would also typically have high views, and it would also typically have high number of followers. But if it had high followers or high views, it didn't necessarily mean that there was a high percentage of shares. And I was like, okay, that makes sense if you think about it. If you like a piece of content enough to share it, to essentially put your name behind it by sending it to somebody else, that's really what you're doing. And I know that, for some of you it might be like, dude, I'm just sending my girlfriend videos of dogs, which I do the same thing, but you're still kind of saying like, hey, this is worth your time to watch this video. So it's a referral in a lot of ways. A content share is a referral to somebody else. And so you're referring this piece of content to somebody. And I love that, because everybody that's a business owner knows it's sometimes difficult to get referrals. And then if you do get a referral, it's a layup, right? It's typically a very easy deal. And so why not get referrals from your content? And so that's kind of what we decided to go all in on, was shares. And the other big benefit of shares was that if you could get, for example, run ads to some of your organic contents, and you had a certain percentage of share ratio, like 2% of people shared your reels, then all the money you're spending has a much higher leverage point. It's getting a higher return on your ad spend, because every time someone sees that ad, they're sharing it with more people. Okay, so that's why I decided. I came to my marketing team, I posted it inside of my channel. I said, hey, everybody, we are going towards shares. That's the number one thing that we're optimizing for. I broke down all the data internally inside of our company, and you can see I did this on June 8th, and that date's important here in a moment. But I said, hey, I think we should optimize for accounts reach, followers, and shares. And in the video, I kind of go way more in depth on why shares is going to be the number one KPI. And I share this with our clients. I share this with our client success managers, our marketing, our media team. And then this was on Saturday, June 8th. And what happened was that literally the day after that, Colin and Samir, they have a great YouTube, it's like 4 content creators. They interviewed the CEO of Instagram. And they said, okay, what's the number one metric we should look at? And he essentially said, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said shares. One day after I pretty much identified what it was, he confirmed what I was thinking and saying that shares is the most important metric for you to look at when you're trying to scale your Instagram. That's what the algorithm looks like, et cetera, et cetera. And no, I'm not saying that I'm like smarter than the head of Instagram, but I'm saying that, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Now I have a metric I can look at, and now you guys can trust somebody other than me that's essentially saying that if people are sharing your content, it's going to be better inside the algorithm. And I'm telling you from my personal experience, it's also going to help you get more leads, calls, and sales for your business. Moving forward here, I decided that from now on, the only metric that we're looking at on platform was going to be shares. And then off platform, I'm looking at how many more leads, calls, and sales am I getting from Instagram using third-party attribution software, which we also help our clients set up as well. But I was like, okay, I can now give my media team, and I can even myself personally, when I'm creating content, I can look at one metric and know that that's what we want to get, which is going to be the number of shares that we get per video. And so I went all in. And when I figured out what was the number one styles of videos that I was creating that was getting us the most shares, it was podcasts first. It was podcasts first, and then the second one was going to be screen share and demonstration. Now, the only downside of podcasts is that I can't be on a podcast every single day, so it's very difficult to scale podcasts, but I can do screen shares or demonstrations every single day. I can do that by myself. I don't even need a media team to do that. And so that's essentially what I went all in on. And if you go to my Instagram, you will see that I go in deep on these screen shares every single morning. I take an hour out of my day every day, 7 days a week, and I post one screen share on Instagram. And you know, once again, these are getting 5,000 views, 3,000 views, 6,000 views. So they're not going massively viral. I'm not getting tens of millions of views on here, but man, oh man, ladies and gentlemen, am I getting a whole lot of qualified sales calls of people that are in my target market. So I don't really care about the virality effect. I don't care about how many views it gets. I don't care about how many likes it gets. I don't care about how many followers I have. I'm just trying to figure out if I post more of these quality screen share demonstrations where I'm showcasing my expertise, if I post one of them every single day, am I getting more booked calls? And I definitely am. And then when I looked at the data even further, I broke down last month where I did a mixture of everything, talking head videos, animation videos, some screen share, some podcasts, all this other stuff. And I saw that the share to account ratio, which is the metric that we're really paying attention to, the median was 0.41 and the average was 0.55 last month. However, this month, just doing these screen share demonstrations that I'm doing, the median is 0.36. So it is almost, it's more than 3 times, almost 4 times higher than the previous last month. And the average is 1.45, which is about 3 times higher than last month. So literally in almost 1 to 2 weeks, I was able to 3 to 4 times the main KPI I was looking at. And that was really ending up leading us to a bunch of more qualified sales calls and deals for the company. And then just to kind of take it all the way home for you, I said, okay, well, if we're running a lot of ads on Facebook and Instagram and these ads bring us a lot of money, what if we started testing ad ideas on my organic first? So we would post it on my Instagram, and then if it worked well, we would put it inside of our ads where we're spending thousands of dollars a day. And lo and behold, at least at this time of this testing, if it performs well organically and it's getting a lot of shares, it is performing well through paid ads. And so now I have a new ad testing system where I'm essentially getting an unlimited amount of creative because I'm posting 7 ads a day. And then if it performs really well, we will put it inside of an advertising campaign and then run ads directly to our company. So very shameless plug. You know, I know what I talked about here was maybe a little bit advanced and you may feel a little bit overwhelmed, but if you want to figure out how we've systemized this entire process so that we're getting 20 plus qualified sales calls a day, and we've methodically created this journey so that I'm just doing about 1 hour a day managing it, then go down below and book a call to speak with myself or one of our team members where we kind of walk you through what we call the self-sustaining funnel, which is this blend of this organic and paid side of marketing where you can really scale your business, build trust with your prospects, close more deals, and hit multiple 6 figures a month. So you'll see the link down below to get access to that. Share this video with somebody else if you think it'll be helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.